Hey, this is Erica from Ever Educating, and this channel is teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources for new college instructors. In this video, we're covering 3 new icebreakers. I have a whole playlist of icebreakers I'll link below, but in this case, we're going to start with one called This or That. And so in this case, you make a statement, and then students move to one side of the room depending on their answer. So, if I could only eat one meal for the rest of my life, it would be mac and cheese, or it would be sushi. So there'd be the mac and cheese side of the room, the sushi side of the room, and students would go to that side depending on their preference. So once you ask, or we make the statement and they move, you can give them some time to chit chat if you want, get to know each other a little bit, and then you make a new statement. So in this case, again, it could be fun statements like that, or it might be ones that are also themed with your course. If I could only read one genre of literature for the rest of my life, it would be fantasy or it would be sci-fi, right? If I could only study one planet for the rest of my life, it would be Saturn or it would be Jupiter, right? If you're teaching astronomy. So you can do it whatever you'd like, right? But in this case, it's very simple, moving around the room and getting to know your students in that way. Now, the next one is also a get to know you type of icebreaker, and that's sentence completion. So this can be done different ways. So you might have students write an incomplete sentence. So basically fill in the blank sentence. If I could only visit one country that's not my own in the next 10 years, it would be blank, right? So everybody writes a statement, right? Or it might be something like, my favorite book is blank. It can be simple or it can be complicated. And then you collect all these statements, right? All these incomplete sentences. And then you start just randomly pluck them out and you say, okay, here's a sentence. Who wants to answer this one? And you might have a couple students answer. Okay, next one. A couple of different students. And so each time you pick a student, they say their name, right? And then they answer the question. So that way you can get to know their names, and then everybody can get to know each other a little bit through their responses to these questions, right? So you could do it this way, where you collect all sentences and then you start reading them out and picking students. Or you might do it more like a snake kind of icebreaker, where it's, okay, you start, say your name, say an incomplete sentence, right? So my name is Erica, and my incomplete sentence is, my favorite artist is blank. And the next person, like, okay, you're gonna say your name and answer the question, and then say your fill in the blank sentence. So my name is John, my favorite artist is Jackson Pollock, and then my sentence is blank. And so everybody goes around, and at the end, the first person, right, Erica in this case, fills in the blank for that last person who made the fill in the blank sentence. So you can do it that way as well. But some students might struggle with thinking of a statement off the cuff, so maybe having them all write one down and collecting them might work better for your students. But it depends on what you prefer. And the last one is just kind of a fun game that can be a small group game, so that students get to know each other, the ones at least around them at that point in time. And this is connections. So if you haven't played this before, it's basically you have 12 words, right? And they're in mixed up order, right, on let's say a slide. And then students have to figure out how 4 of these words connect to each other. So there's 4 sets of 4 words, and they have connections to each other. So again, this could be random, or it could be course themed. So if you have, a preference, or you do both, right? And so you have it up there, you have the class broken up into 4 groups, and you say, okay, group 1, you have a minute, right? Chat amongst yourselves, figure out what 4 words you think connect and what the category is. So they talk amongst themselves, say, okay, we think it's these 4, and this is the category, and then you say yes or no. Okay, next group, your turn, and right, so you kind of go through a few rounds of doing this, so it gives students, again, some chance to chat with each other. And then, it's not so much you getting to know them, but them starting to make friends. So this might appeal if you're teaching freshmen in particular, because they might not know people in their classes yet. Okay? So these are 3 ideas. Each of them are quite simple. They don't require much prep. Connections requires the most, but not that hard to do. You can find the ones online, or you can make your own depending on your preference. So I hope you have a great semester, and in 2 weeks I'll see you with a new video. Click like if you like this one, subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. And again, I'll link my Icebreaker playlist below if you want a lot more ideas of things you can do.